in the future as well. So who knows, Blackmagic may come with other features down the road. You may have guessed it, Blackmagic doesn't always support the best battery life. The one thing I will say is that Blackmagic has tossed a lot of resolution and a lot of features into this camera, which makes it very hard to be efficient on batteries. For all these filmmaking demands, you can't really expect the camera to last that long. This takes power and it's a small setback. With the good Canon fully charged LPE6 battery, you can expect about 40 to 45 minutes when shooting on a smaller codec. With the knockoff brand, you're gonna get much less. I suggest you turn down the screen brightness and you power down the camera when you're not using it. I recommend getting a conversion to either NP style or DTAP if you're shooting long periods of time. The screen is beautiful, but it does not tilt. Unless you're directly behind the LCD screen, you're not gonna get a good angle at what you're filming, and this can get a little bit annoying. I suggest if you're a vlogger or if you wanna be able to see your shot, maybe purchasing a different camera. This camera also has no IS, no image in-body stabilization. So I recommend if you're gonna be using the camera, if it's not locked down on a tripod, you should be using a lens that has an IS feature. If you plan to use a gimbal or shoulder rig, I also suggest you use a lens with an IS. I know it seems a little bit daunting, but it's gonna work out in the end. The good side is that you have control of the sensor. However, it's hard to run and gun without getting a shaky shot. This camera also feels very cheap and it's very lightweight. I suggest you adding a cage and just trying to add on as much weight as possible to support that sensor for a more cinematic feel. Another downside, which is to be expected with the micro four thirds size sensor, is that it's hard to get a shallow depth of field. You can combat this with speed boosters. I use a Viltrox speed booster with a 3.3 firmware update so that I can manually change my aperture in camera. If you can afford it, I recommend the Metabone 0.71 speed booster. This thing is incredible. If you want to see an in-depth tutorial on how to get the most out of your Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, then watch my other videos in the description. Guys, that is all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this review. This camera is hard to knock, and it's one of the most incredible cameras I've used for under $2,000. Blackmagic has simply listened to its filmmakers and it's provided us with an incredible camera. If you care about resolution, color space, dynamic range, and you know you're gonna be grading in post, this camera is fantastic. However, if you're a vlogger and if you're kind of new to filmmaking, it can be a little bit tough to use. Head over to our website at redcapelearning.com. There's much content there for you. Much love, support the sensor, and don't forget to take off your lens cap.